Israel, now in other news, has approved the forced expulsion of 2 Palestinians convicted of crimes. They have been stripped of their residency of Jerusalem. It's the first implementation of a law that was passed in 2023, allowing the revocation of citizenship and deportation of anyone convicted of terrorism. Well, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned more deportations will follow. Israeli media are reporting that the 2 individuals will be sent to Gaza once their sentences are complete. Coalition Chairman Ofer Katz, who initiated the legislation 3 years ago, has praised the news as historic. Well, as we mentioned, Netanyahu has released a statement confirming details. In a post on the social media platform X, he wrote, "This morning I signed the revocation of citizenship and deportation of 2 Israeli terrorists who carried out stabbing and shooting attacks against Israeli civilians and were rewarded for their criminal actions by the Palestinian Authority." I thank the coalition chairman, Ofer Katz, for leading the law that will deport them from the State of Israel and many more like them on the way. Well, a regular face on Al Jazeera, Noor Odeh, joins me now here in the studio in Doha. Good to see you, Noor. So the Prime Minister Netanyahu signing these first orders to expel these Palestinians from Jerusalem, explicitly stating the receiving of this financial stipend or support from the Palestinian Authority as the legal trigger. Tell us more about this case and what ramifications that now has.
Huge ramifications. Let's just start by explaining to our viewers what it means to be a Jerusalemite, Neve, because I think this is an important part. Palestinians who are from Jerusalem are not Israeli citizens. They can be, but they opt not to be because they consider Jerusalem to be an occupied part of Palestine. They hold Jerusalem IDs, which Israel gives them, considering them residents. If that ID is revoked, they are essentially citizens or people without any identification. They will not be able to go to a hospital to register their kids in school. They will be completely nameless. They won't exist. Now, this law was adopted before October 7, in February of 2023, as you meant. And the fact that there are more cases promised on the way means that more and more Palestinians could face this fate. The person who will be deported or exiled or forcibly expelled most immediately has served 23 years in prison already for arms possession and other accusations. It's not clear whether his family will be deported with him, but in essence, he will be completely uprooted from his life after having served more than 2 decades in jail.
No, you mentioned there that Netanyahu is promising many more of these deportations to the West Bank or Gaza. I mean, legally, logistically, how can these territories absorb deportees who are essentially going to be made stateless by Israel?
Well, they're Palestinians, so they will be warmly welcomed. We've seen in the past in some prisoner exchange agreements, Palestinians sent to Gaza as part of the agreement. It complicates their life, but they still have their Palestinian IDs. This is different, and this is a precedent because it's not about just the logistics. It's about the fact that Israel is willing to strip its own citizens of their citizenship. It's willing to vacate Jerusalemites from their legal right to be in their city, and it is blaming them or punishing them after the punishment, after the fact, after serving their jail. The second person that is in question is still serving a sentence. He won't be released until 2030 something. So there are still many years ahead of him in jail, and then he will be deported. The law in question that Netanyahu refers to is about social services to the families of those imprisoned in order to make sure they don't live a life of destitution. But of course, it is a perfect excuse to continue on the path of making it impossible to even express dissent against the occupation, not just take up arms.
All right, Noor, many thanks for walking us through all of the twists and turns in that story. Many thanks. Cheers.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.